26 years ago, Nigeria returned to democratic governance under the 1999 Constitution. It was a moment of great expectation. After decades of military rule, we dared to believe that a new era of freedom, a new era of justice, and a new era of prosperity was finally within reach. A constitution we adopted was meant to be the bedrock of a new Nigeria. A Nigeria where power belongs to the people, where rights were guaranteed, and where institutions serve the common good. 26 years on, has this promise been fulfilled? Yes, Nigeria today is more democratic than ever before. We have conducted 7 successive general elections. Power has changed hands peacefully between parties. Our civil society is more vibrant than ever before. Our media is freer than ever before. Our judiciary, though tested, remains independent. On the one hand, our democracy has deepened. Political parties like yours have become the primary vehicles through which Nigerians participate in governance. Millions cast their votes in every election cycle, believing rightly that their choices matter. On the other hand, too many Nigerians feel left behind. Women remain severely underrepresented in our political structure, despite constituting half of our population. Our local governments, the closest tier of government to the people, remain weak and financially dependent. Electoral disputes drag on for years, creating uncertainty and undermining public confidence. The cooperative democracy we imagined 26 years ago has not fully materialized. Instead, we find ourselves in a moment of reckoning, a moment where we must ask, is our constitution still fit for purpose? Does it reflect the Nigeria we are today? Or is it anchored to the Nigeria of a bygone era? As leaders of Nigeria's political parties, you face this question every day. You see the gaps. You feel the frustrations. You hear the voices of ordinary Nigerians demanding more from their democracy. And that is precisely why you are here today. The House Committee on Constitutional Review, which I have the honor to chair, has embarked on the most comprehensive and consultative amendment process in Nigeria's democratic history. We have held retreats with legal scholars. We have convened dialogues with civil society organizations, the national security and the intelligence community, the regional rulers and professional associations. We have conducted zonal public hearings across all the 6 geopolitical zones of the country, gathering memoranda from thousands of Nigerians. But this process cannot be complete without your input. Political parties are not just participants in our democracy. No, you are the backbone of our democracy. You recruit candidates. You mobilize voters. You articulate competing visions for our nation's future in the form of manifestos. You are the bridge between government and the governed. That is who you are. If constitutional amendments are to be legitimate, they must have your buy-in. If they are to be effective, they must address the challenges you face on the ground. And if they are to endure, they must reflect a broad consensus that transcends party lines. This is why we have invited you here today, not as adversaries, but as partners in nation building. Let me be clear about what is at stake. Before us are critical amendment bills that will define the trajectory of our democracy for the next generation. Bills that seek to guarantee women's representation in our legislative houses, ensuring that no Nigerian is excluded from decision-making because of their gender. Bills that seek to grant financial autonomy to local government so that the councillors and the chairmen elected by your community can deliver services without waiting for handouts from Abuja. Bills that seek to streamline our electoral process, reducing the endless litigation that undermines the will of the people. So looking at the cost effectiveness of running multiple elections in an election cycle instead of having most of the elections done in one day. That is what is before us. These are not abstract legal propositions. They are not. They are reforms that go to the heart of what it means to be a democracy. And they require your input because we know you have something to offer. We recognize that your parties represent diverse ideologies and constituencies. You will not agree on everything. That is the beauty of democracy. But I'm asking you today to focus on what unites us, not what divides us. We all want a Nigeria where elections are free. I'm sure everybody in this room does. We want elections that are fair. I'm sure everybody does. We want elections that are credible. We all want a Nigeria where women have an equal seat at the table. We all want a Nigeria where local governments work, where federalism is real, where our constitution commands the respect and the allegiance of every citizen, where the lives and properties of our people, which government is, security of our lives and properties of the people, which is the primary purpose of government, is achieved by the instrument of our constitution. These are not partisan issues. These are Nigerian issues. The world is changing. So, must we? So, in the last 26 years, Nigerian democracy has rallied on the goodwill of a few committed leaders to survive. But goodwill alone is not enough. We need strong institutions. We need clear rules. We need a constitution that does not just permit democracy, but actively enables it. This is our moment to get it right. The committee has worked tirelessly to ensure this process is inclusive. We have consulted widely, we have listened carefully, but the final word does not rest with us alone. Under our constitution, any amendment must secure a 2/3 majority in the National Assembly and the approval of at least 2/3 of state houses of assembly. This means that the amendment we are proposing will only become law if they command broad cross-party support. And that begins here, in this room, with you. So I'm asking you today, engage with us. Study the bills before you. Consult with your party structures. Bring us your concerns. Bring us your suggestions. Bring us your ideas. This is not the end of the conversation. It is the beginning. Because a constitution is not just a legal document, it is a social contract. It is a promise we make to each other about the kind of country we want to build. And that promise must be one we all believe in. Distinguished leaders, as I round up, our values do not change. Nigeria will remain a democracy. But to sustain our democracy in a changing world, we must change the way it operates. We must give women their rightful place in government. We must empower local governments to serve their people. We must make our elections credible, our courts efficient. This is the work before us. And it is work we cannot do without you. Thank you for being here today. You've taken the right step forward by being here, patiently waiting to be part of this. Thank you for your service to Nigeria's democracy, and thank you for your willingness to work with us on this crucial journey. Together, we can build a constitution that truly reflects the hopes, the values, and the aspirations of Nigerians.